this tutorial, we're going to walk through how to add word art to your Word documents. The very first thing we're going to do is we have our content here and our title up at the top. And the very first thing you need to do if you want to add word art is select the text that you want and come up to Insert. You could also come right over here and pick it out, but I'm actually going to go into the Insert section and come over to where it says Word Art and then pick out the type of word art we're wanting to integrate. I'm going to go with this one that has kind of a front shadow that gives it a nice little 3D effect. Click that, and now you can see that that migrate document text has been converted to word art. I can still come in here and edit it. I could change the font. I could do anything like that I want, which I will change the font right here from a Arial to Calibri. And you can see that that change is now reflected. One of the things you'll notice is by default, Word makes the text, the content, actually run around the word art. Part of the reason is because a lot of times people use word art to create a new paragraph heading. So you could do something like use that only that first letter here, and so we can do that and then have that be the first heading or the first letter of this paragraph. You'll see that a lot of books and newspapers and magazines, and so a lot of times people like to use it for that, and that's part of the reason why Word does that by default. We want to use it for our heading though, so we're not going to use that. We're going to change how that runs around, and to do that you have to just select the box, come up to where it says Drawing Tools, where it says Format, and you can see you have a full list of how you want this text now to work. And because if you've noticed also, this is no longer text inside the document. Word art creates its own object, its own type of text box for you to control, which makes it really easy to navigate it throughout the document. So if you wanted to do something like make it this go below the first paragraph, you can do something like create a new line here and then just simply drag and drop it right in that section. We want it at the top, so we're going to keep it up here and then go change how it runs around. So go back up to Drawing Tools and Format, and then we're going to click on Wrap Text. And here you can see now that you have a lot of other options. You can do things like where it's tight and makes it really close fitting to the content. You can do through, which means it'll actually go through the text. Not a lot of times that you want to do something like that. And what we're going to use it for is top and bottom. If you click that, now you can see it no longer runs around. Instead, it drops below to the next line. And we will make this go all the way to the end. And so it auto centers. And so now you have a great looking piece of word art that is a heading of your document. And there's a lot of other things that we can do to as well. So we'll go back up to Format. Say for some reason we want we don't like that style and we want to switch it up. You can click this button and then go and change it to something else. Like you can have a kind of a retro looking drop shadow to it, or you can give it an embossed look right here if you're wanting to be a little bit more subtle. And then, you know, pretty much any type of option you can imagine, it lets you do. And with each of these, so say you like this kind of 3D thing, I'm not a huge fan of it, but say you do, you can come up here and then come and pick a different font for it. And as you can see, the style still exists there even though the font changes. So a lot of times if you ever see Word out in the wild, you'll see a lot of just people just using the straight standard default font and look and feel for word art. That's not necessary. You have all the type of control you could imagine the same way you do with any other kind of text. So you can come here, change it to any font you want, and I think I'm going to go back to the Calibri. and then I'm going to go and switch up the word art style, because that one right there isn't my favorite, and we'll go to something like this. It's a little bit more subtle, but it gives you a nice little drop shadow right below the text, and gives it a nice professional look and feel. Some of the other options you can do is you can do things like adding outlines to that word art, so you can add colored outlines, or nice just black and white ones if you're wanting to give separation between the content and the heading. That's a nice thing to do, and to do it you don't actually have to click any of these buttons. If you just hover over them, it does an auto preview for you, and as you pull away, that goes away. So that's you can add those different types of box shapes around it. Some of the other things you can do are change to the text direction, so you could rotate that so it's 90 degrees and do something like this, and obviously you're going to want to change how the text is aligned around it, so you could do something like tight, and now you have a much more artistic looking word art that you can drag anywhere you want on the document, and you can have it at 90 degrees here on the right hand side, and gives you a really cool look and feel if you're trying to do a newsletter or magazine or anything like that. Hit Control-Z a few times and we'll put it back into kind of a more traditional look and feel. But that's how you integrate word art and customize it in Microsoft Word. Congratulations if you walked through that and you did that integration and that customization. Please let me know if you have any questions on more advanced ways to integrate that.